Hey guys! This is going to be our labor and delivery story. Our son is 16 and a half months, so I know it's a little late, but we didn't end up filming it.
Yeah. We should have gotten to it sooner, but we didn't know what we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And we're certainly not going to make any friends with this video because our labor and delivery, or her labor and delivery, was certainly not typical of what you hear for a first-time mother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we just decided to do this video because it would be fun and just inform other mothers, you know, maybe we'll help someone out.
Yeah. And we really want to let people know that birth does not always have to be the horror story that people tell. So this is not a one-up story, this is a one-way-down story. And I believe that anybody can have a birth like this, and I think she does too, if you don't try to hype it in your mind to be something that's going to be horrible and painful.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start. The night before was November 23rd. Jonathan's due date was November 24th. And we just had assumed both of us we were born 10 days past our due date, so we just assumed that our child was going to be the same. So we weren't expecting it. Of course we were ready, you know, but we weren't expecting it at all. And the night before, we went out to eat with a group of Josh's work friends. And so I was out and about. I wasn't cooped up inside, even though it was the night before my due date and I was really big.
You didn't seem to have any trouble getting around either.
No.
It was just another day. I mean, she was pregnant as can be, but it wasn't a hindrance of any sort.
Yeah. And we went out to eat and we came home and we started watching a movie. And I had fallen asleep during the movie, and so I woke up and I decided to go to bed, and I got into bed, and I felt like this cramp, like kind of like a period cramp. I mean, it was a lot, you know. So I didn't even think anything of it, you know. And you know, they were going on and off, and they weren't painful. They were just, you know, cramps.
For sure.
Yeah, and I told Josh to turn off the TV because it was bothering me, because I was trying to go to sleep. And then, you know, and they started coming closer together, but they still weren't really painful. And so I told Josh, did I tell you? What did I say? Did I tell you anything?
Asked me to come in there. Well, actually, no, I stayed out here for a while after that, didn't I?
Yeah. I ended up, oh, I guess we forgot to tell y'all, we had a home birth, so we didn't have to worry about going to the hospital or anything.
Right. We really thought that it was probably just some Braxton Hicks.
Yeah, we really didn't think anything of it. You know, we weren't expecting, I mean, I guess it was like our due date, so I guess we were expecting it, but, you know. So I ended up calling our midwife, and she asked how long the contractions were, and at that point I wasn't timing them, but I was just estimating that they were probably like 5 minutes apart and maybe like 45 seconds long. You know, I was just estimating, so I really don't know. And she told me, of course, just to try to get some sleep, because at this point I had only been in labor for an hour maybe, you know, because I started at 11:30. And then, of course they tell you to try to get some sleep, but what they don't realize is at this point I am so jacked. I'm excited. There's no way I can get some sleep. I don't know why people say try to get some rest, because even if you're not in active labor and in a lot of pain, you're just super excited. You know, like I'm walking around the apartment, I'm like, maybe I should do some laundry. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do laundry. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was pretty jacked.
And I don't know what you were doing. I don't remember.
We were just acting like nothing was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you were
And
reading
and I
I was probably
hadn't.
on the computer.
Yeah. So I don't know. A few hours later, I guess. I don't
A few?
remember what time.
Like 2.
2 hours later, I don't know. You end up like they started getting more intense, and Josh was pressing against my hip, which really helped. I mean that helped.
Yeah, we learned a little thing in what was it, Lamaze, where if you press on the back side of the hips, like above
Like where the
the
hip
butt,
bones are.
it helps to spread the inner thighs, the inner hip bones, kind of like a butterfly clip for your hair. You squeeze that and it opens up, and it kind of helps get everything ready, helps the baby move down.
Yeah.
And it seemed to relieve her pain,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got my workout that night, just hustling on
yeah.
her hips.
Every contraction, he would do it, and it was a lifesaver, I guess. Not really. I mean, yeah. I don't want to say a lifesaver because they weren't. It wasn't that bad. I mean, like I would just breathe through.
She didn't act like she was in much pain. She just kept saying, okay, and I've got another one coming, squeeze on it. And, this
and I would
is...
just breathe through it.
We thought that we were still early in labor.
Yeah.
And
Because
this
everyone-
is 2.5, 3 hours in.
Everyone says, first time moms, they're in labor for like 24 hours, maybe longer, and it had only been like a couple hours.
Yeah, so...
And they were getting really close, and Josh started timing them.
Yes.
And
I started timing them, and we came up with the...
They were like a minute long and two minutes apart.
If that...
And I was like, okay, well, you should call our midwife, call her back. And so he calls her, and I don't know what was going on in that conversation together.
Yeah, I had to leave the room because we didn't get very good reception in there. So I called her up and I told her, hey, they're getting closer together. They're about a minute apart. A minute long, and it was 2 minutes from beginning to beginning. So there were only a minute between the time one ended and the next one began. And we had read the books. We just weren't really thinking about it. And so this is about 3.5 hours since she started. And the midwife said, well, I thought she was joking, but she chuckled and said, are you seeing any hair? And I was like, no. And she's like, okay, well, I'm on my way. She sounded totally calm. But we found out later that she was kind of freaking out, throwing her clothes together.
She was throwing her clothes on. And
yeah, because she lives about an hour from us.
Yeah.
So she had quite a drive.
Yeah.
So it started getting a little more intense.
I had tried different positions because I hear like trying different positions. Like I had tried, on all fours, and I had tried hovering over the bed, and I had moved around. But really, I just wanted to lay down. Like it didn't seem like standing up or on all fours were doing any better, and I just wanted to lay down. I felt like it was better. I don't know.
And we decided ahead of time to do a water birth. So at this point, I went ahead and filled up. We have a garden tub, so I filled it up
nice.
after sterilizing it ahead of time. I filled it up with hotter water than you would want to birth in because I knew it was still going to be some time before she had the baby, and a little bit before she should get into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at this point I got that filled up and just kind of went back down and laid down with her so that we could relax a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom, and when I wiped, I lost my mucus plug. I saw that I had lost my mucus plug. So I was excited that I lost my mucus plug because I knew that it wouldn't be too much longer.
This is about 3 hours 45 minutes into it.